Hi, everyone. This is Carol Ann Speaks the State of the World on Sunday, November 5th, 2023. So, what is it? Good, bad, or indifferent? All three. Alright, what are some things happening out there? Gaza residents flee south as Israel's military encircles Gaza City. Okay, they're going from the north to the south, but Israel is also bombing in the south. There's no safe place in Gaza. Israel should be held accountable. Yes. And Zelensky warns conflict with Russia will spread without more aid. I totally agree. How Israel's judicial reform protesters shifted to aiding victims of Hamas. Yes. Okay. Which victims? The Palestinians or just the Israelis? Okay. Now, um, what's causing the unusually high number of drug shortages in the U.S.? Corporate greed. I'll tell you, corporate greed. Drug companies don't want to make any drug that's not profitable, and uh, they are out to make money, and they're not out to help people. They don't do research for illnesses that are very minor, only for illnesses that have a lot of victims. Okay, how Susan LaFleche Picot became the first Native American medical doctor. Yes, she was born in 64, I believe, and she was a she was born in 1864, I think, and she's a Native American, and she became a doctor. She ended up practicing on a reservation after she got her college degree and her medical degree. Okay, all right, now, uh, so that's a lot of things happening. I know the news is filled with all the horrors of the Israel-Hamas war, but we must remember that Israel, the current leader, the net guy, he put Hamas in power in Gaza to counteract the influence of Yasser Arafat's group, the PLO, and then he funded Hamas in Gaza, and he let them do whatever they wanted. He didn't expect them to launch this attack of October 7th, but their intelligence community in Israel is pretty bad if it didn't pick up on any signs that something was going to happen. Because the net guy, his base is the very ultra-Orthodox Hebrews and the settlements and their settlements in the West Bank. He doesn't care about the south of Israel or the north. So he's only interested in the settlements, and he just wants to wipe out the Palestinians completely. He'd like to send them all into Egypt, but Egypt won't let that happen. And the U.S. said there'll be no such thing as a forced displacement. But we give them all this, U.S. gives Israel all this money for their wars. And that's it's a boon to our defense industry. But they're committing murder using our name and our weapons in our name, not in my name. Okay, we have to hold Israel accountable. Yes, and put the net guy in jail for treason. He let October 7th happen. He let all these people be attacked and murdered and injured and raped, and he's a bad guy. You know, when Israel was created by the UN in 1948, there were Hebrews living in what became Israel, but Israel was part of the Ottoman Empire, and then after World War One, Palestine is what they called it, became a British colony, and the British promised that land to the Hebrews and to the Palestinians. You can't give uh, one the same land to two different groups. So anyway, so the Israelis, the early Israelis, try to encourage the Palestinians to leave that area, all these Arab villages. They didn't want just a little bit of land. Israel was very unhappy with the amount of land that the UN set aside for them. They wanted more, so they was very successful in wiping out a lot of Arab villages and encouraging them to go south. So there's a great um, migration, great exodus from that area, about 750,000 people. And they went to Syria and Lebanon and Egypt and Jordan, and they ended up in refugee camps. And and in successive wars after 1948, like 1967, 1973, Israel, the government, continued to try to get more land, get rid of more Palestinian villages, and they're still doing that. And they don't hold, Israel doesn't hold the Israeli settlers accountable for what they're doing. So that has to change. All right, so the war is endless. There should be a two-state solution, and Palestine should finally get a state. Okay. All right. Hang on a minute. Hi, I'm back. Uh, okay. All right. Island of Dreams. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainsides. It's you must go, and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valleys are hushed and white with snow. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainsides. It's you, must go, and I must abide. Okay, that was Danny Boy, a very nice song, a very old song. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in this evening of Sunday, November 5, 2023, for another meeting of Carolyn Speaks State of the World. I hope you'll be back. In the meantime, stay safe, wear a mask, practice social distancing when the vaccine is available and ready if you ever take it. We had ours. And remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Signing off on Sunday, November 5th, 2023. Good night. Stay safe.